Today, we dive deep into the musical universe of one of the most legendary guitarists of all time. Santana continues to inspire millions with his soulful sound that blends rock, blues, Latin, and jazz. When we talk about Santana, we're not just talking about a guitarist. We're talking about a visionary who broke boundaries. He was one of the first to blend Latin rhythms with rock guitar, creating timeless classics like Black Magic Woman, Oi Como Va, and Samba Pa Ti. But what happens when a legend like Santana is asked about his own guitar heroes? Who inspired him to shape that magical tone we know today? Recently, Carlos Santana opened up about his 6 favorite guitarists of all time, and his list reveals not just influences, but the very DNA of rock and roll itself. So in this video, we'll break down each of the 6 iconic guitarists Santana named, explore why he admires them, and how they shaped the sound of music history. Stay tuned, because by the end, you'll see how Santana's choices tell us something deeper, not just about guitar playing but about passion, spirituality, and the power of music itself. It's no surprise that Carlos Santana named B.B. King as one of his greatest inspirations. Known as the King of the Blues, B.B. wasn't just about fast licks or technical skill. His guitar, Lucille, spoke with emotion, bending notes in ways that could bring tears to your eyes. Santana often said that when B.B. King played, you could feel every note in your soul. That emotional connection deeply influenced Santana's own style, where every phrase feels like a conversation with the listener. Next, Santana couldn't leave out Jimi Hendrix. If B.B. King gave Santana the soul, Hendrix gave him the fire. Hendrix redefined what the electric guitar could do: feedback, distortion, wah pedals. He turned them into instruments of expression. Santana often mentions how Hendrix was a force of nature, someone who broke all the rules and created a whole new world of sound. Santana admired Hendrix not just for his innovation, but for his spiritual energy, a quality that Santana also carries in his music. With King and Hendrix, we see the perfect blend, soul and fire. And Santana absorbed both into his DNA. Carlos Santana has immense respect for Jeff Beck, one of the most inventive guitarists in history. Unlike many others, Beck didn't rely heavily on flashy solos or speed. Instead, he made his guitar sing. Santana admired how Beck could use a simple phrase and make it sound like a voice crying out in the night. The emotional weight behind Beck's playing is something Santana carried into songs like Europa, where the guitar feels almost human. Of course, Santana also listed Eric Clapton. Often called slow hand, Clapton combined blues with rock in a way that influenced generations. Santana admired Clapton's phrasing, his clean yet emotional tone, and his ability to make even a single note unforgettable. Clapton's journey, from Cream to Derek and the Dominoes and his solo career, showed Santana how a guitarist could evolve, adapt, and still stay true to the blues. Together, Beck and Clapton added another dimension to Santana's influences: the importance of melody and phrasing. They taught him that guitar is not just about playing notes, but about telling a story. Santana has often expressed his deep admiration for Peter Green, the original leader of Fleetwood Mac before its pop era. Peter Green was a blues genius, known for his haunting tone and emotional playing. His song Black Magic Woman actually inspired Santana's famous cover, which went on to become one of Santana's signature hits. Santana once said that Peter Green had a way of touching the divine with his guitar. Every note felt sacred. The last guitarist on Santana's list is Wes Montgomery, a jazz legend. Unlike most, Montgomery played with his thumb instead of a pick, giving his sound a warm, mellow quality. Santana admired how Montgomery could weave complex jazz harmonies into something smooth and soulful. For Santana, Wes Montgomery was proof that the guitar was limitless, that it could move seamlessly between genres while still maintaining pure beauty. With Green and Montgomery, Santana's list is complete. Blues, rock, jazz, and soul, a perfect circle of influences that shaped his own timeless style. So, what do these 6 names tell us about Carlos Santana? B.B. King, Jimi Hendrix, Jeff Beck, Eric Clapton, Peter Green, and Wes Montgomery, they aren't just technical masters. They are storytellers, visionaries, and emotional messengers. For Santana, Choosing these six wasn't about who could play the fastest or the loudest. It was about who could touch the heart and soul of the listener. That's why Santana himself is admired worldwide, because he learned from the masters how to put soul into every note. Santana continues to tour, record, and inspire. His list reminds us that music isn't just entertainment, it's a spiritual force, a universal language that can heal, uplift, and unite people. So next time you hear Santana's guitar soar, remember that behind those notes are the echoes of B.B. King's bends, Hendrix's fire, Beck's inventiveness, Clapton's phrasing, Green's emotion, and Montgomery's smoothness. Today, we're diving into the world of one of the greatest guitar legends alive, Carlos Santana. At the age of 78, Santana has seen and lived through decades of music history, from the psychedelic rock revolution of the late 1960s to modern-day collaborations with younger artists. His guitar tone is instantly recognizable, soulful, spiritual, and timeless. But recently, Santana revealed something special, the 6 guitarists he considers his all-time favorites. This list is not just about technical brilliance, but about passion, emotion, and artistry. These 6 names shaped Santana's own sound and left a permanent mark on music history. So, let's walk through them together and see why Santana holds them in such high regard. The first name Santana mentioned was none other than B.B. King, the king of the blues. For Santana, B.B. wasn't about speed or complexity. He was about emotion. King's guitar, famously named Lucille, could cry, laugh, and whisper all in the span of a single solo. Santana has often said that B.B. King taught him the value of bending a single note until it reaches the listener's heart. If you listen closely to Santana's own ballads like Samba Party or Europa, you can hear that same emotional language, a direct inheritance from B.B. King. No surprise here, Santana's second choice was Jimi Hendrix. Hendrix didn't just play the guitar, he reinvented it. He took distortion, feedback, wah pedals, and turned them into pure magic. Santana admired Hendrix not only for his innovation but for the spiritual force behind his music. Santana once described Hendrix as a force of nature, someone who played as if channeling something beyond human. For Santana, Hendrix gave the world permission to be bold, experimental, and fearless. And that fiery influence is still alive in Santana's own improvisations. The third guitarist on Santana's list is Jeff Beck, one of the most expressive players in rock history. Unlike others, Beck wasn't interested in being the fastest. He wanted his guitar to sing. Santana has praised Beck for his ability to turn the guitar into a human voice, with cries, whispers, and even laughter flowing through his strings. This emphasis on expression over flash deeply resonated with Santana, who always believed that music should tell a story. Beck's legacy, like Santana's, is a reminder that sometimes a single heartfelt note can be more powerful than 100 flashy ones. Of course, Santana couldn't leave out Eric Clapton, often called Slow Hand. Clapton was one of the key figures who helped bring the blues into mainstream rock. Santana admired Clapton's phrasing, his smooth tone, and his ability to blend deep blues feeling with rock energy. Songs like Layla or Wonderful Tonight show how Clapton could make even simple lines unforgettable. Santana has often credited Clapton as someone who proved that the guitar doesn't need to scream to be powerful, it can whisper and still move millions. The fifth guitarist Santana named is one that might surprise some: Peter Green, the original leader of Fleetwood Mac before its pop era. Green was a blues poet, and his style left a lasting impression on Santana. In fact, it was Peter Green's Black Magic Woman that Santana reimagined and turned into one of his biggest hits. But Santana has always given credit where it's due, saying Peter Green's playing had a haunting, spiritual quality that touched something divine. Green proved that music doesn't have to be loud or complex to be eternal, it just has to be honest. The final name on Santana's list is Wes Montgomery, a jazz legend known for his unique technique of playing with his thumb instead of a pick. This gave his tone a warm, mellow sound unlike anyone else. Santana admired Montgomery for bringing sophistication and elegance to the guitar, showing that it could thrive in jazz just as much as in blues or rock. For Santana, Wes Montgomery represented the limitless possibilities of the guitar, A reminder that music has no boundaries.